Welcome to Without a Candle.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
I'm Carla, and I'm here with Karlie, like it's almost always.
Hi. So, again, different background today, but we're flexible.
We're moving shit.
We are moving shit. We do have a reader here today.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has priority over the back, which
Yeah.
absolutely. And we are in our office.
Yeah, which is shifting as well.
Yeah,
So-
big changes have come from us. Honestly, since I came back from vacation, it has just been like one huge evolution. I feel like, which is good. It's going in a productive and less. I don't want to say less stressful because everything is always like possible, but like more in tune.
Right.
More in tune with like where I want to be at, where we want to be at the shop, evolving to me a little bit.
So there's definitely a difference between busy and productive. I think the last couple days, week, I've been saying like we just don't.
Yeah.
Has been more productive. Like, okay, it's there was some rest time, there was some scatterbrain busyness as we wrapped up July, but now it's like, okay,
We don't
here
have
we are.
to fuck around anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're doing the thing. So, one of the big shifts was actually some awareness that Matt brought us in our individual readings.
Okay.
And then also you had, I think this topic kind of ties into that topic as well. So we might as well just hit both.
She doesn't know that I can't see the topics that she's talking about.
I know it's in my
So which
yeah.
topics? Okay.
So, just some awareness that like Matt brought us, and then what you had mentioned about
This is going. Okay, go ahead.
about the human self
Yeah.
and what we actually
Yeah.
need, right? So do you want to think on that?
I suppose. So, and we know this. We go back to like what our basics is all the time. We go back to like what our foundation is all the time. And so we know. But sometimes it's easier to entertain a distraction in the form of a human want or in the form of a human need.
Yeah.
So in this moment, I am talking about how I want, and I have wanted since Main Street to go to yoga teacher. Oh wow, that is not correct. I've already been there. That's on my list. Like maybe I go back to yoga teacher training to re-immerse myself in that practice. But anyway,
So you need to sit on that because that came out of nowhere.
yeah, it did. Like literally, yeah. So how I have wanted since the Main Street location, so over 2 years, to go to massage therapy school. Okay, and at first the intuition or the want, the need, the intention was a little off. It was one of those things that I wanted to do, so I just said I did it, right? And because of the yoga teacher trainer, like I can adjust and assist, right? But if I knew more about how to adjust and assist on the muscular and skeletal level, that would change things. Like if someone was tight and a hamstring, and that's why they couldn't get in position, I could help in a massage therapy session loosen those to help them find that position. Anyway, long story short. And now, this last year we had Reagan, which offered us craniosacral.
Yeah.
For my very first time. And I'm like, that shit is fucking mind blowing and magical, because one of the stigmas around being a massage therapist is that it's hard on the body. And they're not wrong. It is physically demanding, especially when that's your full time job.
Yeah.
But craniosacral is not.
Yeah.
And nor is reflexology.
Yeah.
And just seeing the shift in how much craniosacral is like Reiki, right? Imagine the work, and it's a little bit ego, right? Imagine the work that I could do if I could put my hands on someone in a massage therapy setting technique with Reiki and craniosacral.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine that. Like, that's a whole
the
fucking reset.
benefits in one session would be unreal.
Yeah.
Now, why is it coming to you that it's not a, I don't want to say realistic.
Well, so, and maybe it's just something that's not
a need.
like right now, right? Because I was really hard pressed about 2026 was the year. 2026 was the year. But 2026 doesn't have to be the year. And maybe there's some madness just behind releasing that expectation. So letting that expectation of finishing that in 2026 go, right? And that perhaps I just need to practice and do the things I'm already doing more and on a deeper level of expertise, right? And then he alluded to, we had talked about this before. He had alluded to kind of shifting and crafting and sharing the way I do things, right? So I teach traditional Reiki, Usui Reiki principles and practices and those hand placements, but I also teach a very intuitive guidance kind of thing too, right? And so if you have this manual, traditional teachings, but then spirit is leading you to do something a little different or a little something extra, and you don't listen, which way's right? That makes sense. So I prefer to honor the gift and the common knowledge of Usui Reiki, but also choose to honor that with my intuition. It's not true because your guides are there for a reason. Yeah, and then if you're on my table or on our table, your guides are there for a reason too. Yeah, right. And who am I to let my by the book get in the way of that? Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Like that drifted off a little bit too, but maybe it's just not a right now thing. Okay, right.
So how does that tip you? And knowing that you have to let that human ego go with that concept of like wanting training and knowing that the greater good is telling you, hey, not right now.
It feels like I'm being put timeout in the corner. Okay. And you just want to paddle, just sit here, you know. Yeah. You know, when we teach kids about timeout or a break or however we decide to order them as parents, it's so they can reflect on typically what has been done and or what needs to be done differently. Yeah. So yeah, I've been timeout. And there's other things I need to study. And then some awareness around that too. One of the things I didn't consider to be an everyday part of my practice moving forward would be that meditation, right? Okay. But it's over the last two sound baths incorporating meditation, I feel like it's been well received. I think so too. I have so enjoyed it. Yeah. So there's that. But maybe remembering also to get back on how to teach on a broader spectrum that he had mentioned. Videos. Okay. Yeah. So like little short video demonstrations. So who knows how that sits or how that moves forward. Yeah. And then you've had some new awarenesses as well.
Not so much putting me in timeout.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah.
But more so continue what I'm doing. Everything that I am being told and led to do is coming. I just need to stop seeking it so hard.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? So that is kind of like a timeout.
Yeah.
But not so much, hey, you don't need to be doing that. Yeah. Right? So, for example, I, like the last several months, I've been being called to the Akashic record. That's not something I ever considered or had any interest in when I even first learned about it, right?
Right.
And so I'm pretty sure it was when I started dreaming that the messages of like Akashic records started coming.
Yeah.
And then I had that Planet Ally day, that mushroom day. And that was like a profound message in there, like, hey, this is something. So I started doing a little research, right? And then on top of that, another modality that I don't really want to share yet. And that'll come in the next probably couple of years because that's gonna.
So we're also learning that we can be excited in what's coming, even though we don't know the when or the how of it.
Yeah.
And understanding that a lot of that is not our business, which is really.
I feel like that's a whole other podcast topic.
I want to be like, that's not fair, you know?
Yeah.
But it's really none of our business, the when or how.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's what I'm being told. It's like the most profound message is what I'm being told. And then also being told like, hey, tuning forks are gonna be part of your practice. And I was like, fuck. Like that has never been a thing, but okay. But it's not my business to figure out why.
Yeah. But the week before, like, you didn't know all the details, but it was coming. It was starting to come up.
Tuning fork?
When I had asked for that hand printout.
Oh, did I say tuning fork?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't even remember that.
Oh, no. So I had asked for the handout because that was my intuition.
Oh,
my intention. Yeah.
Oh.
It felt like, I'm like, do we just not go play with them then? Like, they're already here. You don't have to look for them. Anyway, so ties back to that.
Yeah.
And so for you, and maybe for I wonder how much of this is because, like, we have a sense of urgency about the next thing, right? But perhaps in that sense of urgency, we may end up choosing the wrong instructor or the wrong guide or the wrong mentor because we rushed into that.
Yeah.
And so if we sit let it kind of patiently, maybe we'll find that person with some synchronicities.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of how it happened with the Akashic Records reading that we're going to have next week.
Yeah.
Is I was not searching for Akashic Records practitioners at all. I was actually searching for mental health first aid courses.
Right.
Why that popped up in my Google search, I don't know. But it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then I also didn't even push a session quickly. It's been a month since I made the appointment till now because I truly did not want to feel a sense of urgency that I needed to go. Like timing will line up the way it needs to. So in this season that we're in, I'm kind of curious, like, how would you talk with this to somebody? Like, you were the one relaying the message of letting things come naturally. Like, how would you teach that? How would you talk to that?
The fuck if I know. Apparently, I'm still figuring that out too. Like, apparently, I still need that mentorship on letting things happen because it's easier said than done, right? It's easier said than done to like sit down, be patient, and it doesn't mean not to be productive. You know, it doesn't mean not to like not do anything. It just means like that's not your primary focus. Yes, I mean you have all these other modalities that you could sharpen. Yeah, so that we really need to sharpen, and that's a consistent message too. That we need to continue to hone in on all aspects of what's already been done.
Yeah. So then that also changes the direction of the podcast now, because now I want to know. Or not even I want to know. I think it's important to relay to our listeners that even though we are already practitioners, we are always learning. Like we have said that, like the whole thing of the podcast, like we're all still students, right? Yeah. So like, regardless of us being seasoned for how long we've been seasoned, we're still learning. Yeah. We are still evolving in our own practices. Right. We're learning new things. We are getting mentors, just like we mentor people, right?
And that's a form of our self-care time, too.
Oh, absolutely.
So a lot of people come to us and seek us out for that mentorship. Yeah. There was a practitioner that I knew. She coined the phrase, healer, or something like that. Yeah. That we can always seek feeling outside of
Yeah.
ourselves.
Absolutely.
And not to think that, I don't want to say it's being naive or, with an ego or anything, but not being so wrapped up that I'm a healer. I can heal myself, which is, we still do our self Reiki, we still do our self meditation, but sometimes it's an outside source.
Mhm.
And that kind of ties into the same concept of like, after I'm so close to someone, it becomes a gray area of whether or not I should be their practitioner. Because on a human level, I know things, and how does that intersect, or how does that affect and intertwine with the things I am gonna know, right?
Yeah.
Those spirit messages that I'm gonna know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So, what is your take on that?
No, I completely agree with that, and I think it, like, to put it in a different perspective, like, a surgeon still needs a surgeon.
Right. Yeah.
Like a nurse still needs a nurse, chiropractor still needs chiropractor. You could, like, even though you know how to do things, sometimes it is impossible to do the same thing on ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the same way with energy work.
It's also known now that, like, for example, nurses are the worst patients.
Oh yeah, and so sometimes we are too.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
more stubborn.
Yeah, there's some things that maybe come through on a section that I don't want to know. Like, I want to see at you because you figured it out. Like, and not that does ever happen, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, I know part of the stuff.
Right.
Like,
Well, wait, I mean, that's part of the being the ultimate circle. Is that, and as a whole, as a community as a whole, is that we just don't let, we don't let each other stay stuck or, be too tied to one thing for too long.
Yeah. And sometimes, even though, like, we're Reiki practitioners, what you do is sound healing. I'm more of a teacher on, like, the pagan side. Sometimes what we need is a completely different modality than what we even know. Right? So, like, apparently the Kashi workers. It's the thing that I need.
And it was mentioned, and I don't know if this is, I think this was even mentioned in yours about morphing our own kind of practice, like our own kind of modality. With the understanding, like, yes, this may be how it's done, but this is how Carly does it, or this is how Carly does it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Individuality. And you gotta kind of think of it like art. We can all create the same thing, but it's all gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
Perspective, energy, movement, all of it influences the outcome. So
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of, no, I don't feel like I'm gonna time out. Dang it.
So what was that thought? Oh, you had a message that made you feel like you're in timeout, but what was it?
Oh, just the fact that, like, I need to remember to stop seeking. Like, just stop seeking. Just allow what's gonna come, go day to day, do your thing. Like,
so I had mentioned to you, or you had asked me, or somehow it came out about like the whys. Why are we doing that? Right? Like, why is that a thing? And it was a very human realization of wanting to be wanted or wanting to be needed.
Yeah.
We've gone through cycles where we have practitioners come in and their schedule is always full. And then we go other places, and when we leave our space, our schedule's always full. So at some point it was like, well, what are we not offering to the locals, to our local community? Like, why are they not showing up for what we offer? When, some individuals will literally show up for every other practitioner.
Yeah.
But they've yet to be.
And that's been so mind blowing to kind of not let ego take the forefront because it's like, not to be egotistic or not to be like, well, this is mine, I think you should be showing it for me. It's trying to figure out, well, what is the difference? So, what is the difference in what we are offering here based on the practitioners we choose, like their offerings, versus our offerings that are offered all the time, and those same people show up for who we schedule versus who, or like when we have availability.
Right. And then, go ahead.
No.
So on that, like, some reminders that I got was like, whatever. I just glitched. Going back to what we had just said about being too close. And is that something that we've learned, because a lot of these ladies and men, there's a couple guys, they are friends. Yeah. So how much of their stuff do they want us involved in on a healing level, because we already have a personal level, right? And then sometimes I just think it's accessibility. It's accessibility and then knowing that we are almost always available with a drop of a hat. Yeah. Whether it's just showing up or whatever it is. Yeah. But we're like always around.
So, and then it changes it too, because even though you aren't available, I'm not available, you are. So it's like a 24/7 cycle of literally it's on demand whenever people want it.
Yeah.
And I think that changes the way people have that sense of urgency of needing. But I was thinking about this on the way in, actually.
Yeah.
That I wish people would stop viewing appointment services and practitioners as something that they want and start seeing those things as services and opportunities for what they actually need. Because all of these come down to some type of self-healing.
And sometimes teaching the value of things too, right? Like, and that people do have free will and they can choose where they spend their time and choose their money. So I just don't, when it comes to value, I personally need to stop trying to have individuals see my value in my work.
So I think that I think that's going to come when more of the collective start waking up in the way they need to wake up.
Yeah.
I think right now we are still in this limbo where people can kind of feel like, yeah, I'm off. Yeah, I need something. But they aren't, their ego isn't down enough for them to really let go and be like, yes, I'm ready to address all of the uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, there's confidence.
And so I think that is a lot to do with why people aren't showing up the same way, because like our practitioners offer guidance and offer assistance, right, with their readings. And a lot of people see that as a quick fix.
And it's often more gentle as well. We really dig deep in our practices.
We really do.
And we often rip open rip off bandages. There we go.
Yeah.
And expose those side of things that just really, really stuck.
And they're raw, and it's so uncomfortable, and the collective isn't wired anymore to deal with the uncomfortable. And this goes back to the topic. Oh, well, actually, we didn't even touch on this yet, but it goes back to truly letting go of dismissing.
What time are we at? How long has it been already?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, it's up to you if you want to continue to talk or if you want to shift gears. How do you want to wrap this up?
So, yes, I think that is going to be another episode of practicing and really letting go, right?
There's so much.
Yeah, there is so much. But for the sake of talking your ear off in this episode,
time and consideration for those that still understand time. Whenever,
we will catch you in the next episode then.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And drop us a comment, drop us a like, send us a message, let us know what topics you'd want to hear. I've really been enjoying going through the job form and reading everybody's suggestions. So, and we'll eventually get to them, but we kind of just like naturally letting things flow. So, we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.